cannot believe it. Like, I'm really pregnant. So what's up, YouTube? It's your girl Alexis back with another video. As you can tell by the announcement or the title, I am pregnant. I'm 21 weeks pregnant today. We are expecting our first child and I'm super excited about it. As you guys know, I have been offline for a couple of months now. It was not initially planned, but it was something that I felt the need to do, being as though my pregnancy initially started out a little bit rocky. I was diagnosed with a pregnancy condition called Hyperemesis Gravidarum. Hyperemesis Gravidarum is a pregnancy condition that is rare, that I was diagnosed with at 9 weeks, and I realized it was something different about how my pregnancy was going. It was not something that I ever saw any other woman go through in my entire life. So to be experiencing something like this was very traumatic initially. After weeks of going through the process of dealing with HG, I obviously dealt with extreme nausea. They tried to throw it off initially, saying that I was just pregnant. It was my first pregnancy, so I didn't know what I was experiencing, although I couldn't eat or drink anything. And that is a common symptom with HG, is the fact that you can't eat or drink like most women can when they're pregnant. As I continued to do my research, I realized that the doctors weren't properly diagnosing me with the condition initially. They were just giving me medication for my nausea and calling it a day. My fiance and I fought really hard to get the help that we needed during this process. Took a lot of ER visits and a lot of overnight stays at the hospital. We actually stayed a couple of weeks at a time. It eventually resulted in me being on what they call home health and having a nurse come to my home to administer medicine to me and also administer something that's called a Zofran pump, which is a machine that you carry around in like a fanny pack, and it has tubing that you connect to your stomach. It will inject medicine through the IV line around the clock to make sure that I'm getting the proper medicine for the entire process. So for the first few months of my pregnancy, it was a little bit difficult, I'm not gonna lie. I'm super thankful for the support system that I have, being my fiance and my family, of course. The fact that he saw me at my worst and was there for the entire process. He did everything he possibly could to make sure that I was as comfortable as I could be. So I love him for that. I'm now in my second trimester, so things are starting to turn around. I actually got off the pump, just one day decided to stop using it, and I am feeling great. I'm feeling the way that I expected pregnancy to feel from the beginning, which is super healthy, super happy, and eating everything, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm making up for the first few weeks of pregnancy. It's really good to be feeling good again. Super excited to be a first-time mom, to be a mom in general. I've always thought about being a mother, but I never knew what to expect. We're excited to be on the up and up. We're excited to be parents, and I can't wait to see my child. Truth is, I don't really know what to expect being a mom. I have seen my sister have children, and I've been around people who have had kids. You can imagine yourself being a mom, you can imagine yourself being a parent, but to actually be one now is way different. I feel the baby move all the time, and it's so surreal because it's like your little human inside of you. It's really cool. I mean, I don't know. I try to imagine what the baby's gonna look like all the time. I have no clue. I'm just super excited with the shopping and getting everything organized and together. I'm watching all the mom vlogs of baby essentials and what you need on your journey for pregnancy. But I'm definitely taking it a day at a time and trying to be the best version of myself, to be the best mother that I can be. So some of the symptoms that I experienced in the beginning to first know that I was pregnant: tender boobs or breast for like the first couple of weeks. But that was kind of normal for me, especially when my time of the month comes around or my period, because sometimes they get larger and then they shrink or whatever. So I was just thinking that it was normal. Initially, I just thought that my period was late. It was so weird because I was having cramps. And I guess I forgot what they call it, the term for pregnancy cramps. I didn't associate pregnancy cramps with the cramps that I was having because I cramp before my period. So I thought everything was normal. I was cramping. I had tender breasts, but it wasn't like something I haven't experienced before. Also, I really had no desire to eat the food that I usually used to eat. So I was thinking that I needed to go on a diet or change my eating habits or something because I just felt like my body was not agreeing with the food that I was eating. And then it was just one day when I had my sister over and I was like, okay, I've been nauseous for like 3 weeks. My period is supposed to be here either 2 days prior or 2 days after, so I'm kind of in the middle. Let me just go ahead and take a pregnancy test. And with her reaction, I thought she was joking initially, but my sister, she's just super playful. So when I actually looked at the pregnancy test myself and I saw that I was pregnant, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Like, I'm really pregnant. So it was just a big shock, and words couldn't even explain how I felt in the moment. I was emotional, I was happy, I was scared, I was all these things and above, but I was just like, my life literally changes now. That was understood, but as the time goes on, you're starting to see how real it really is. It's unbelievable. Like, I don't know if moms ever feel this way about their second and third kids, or is this something that you just feel for your first pregnancy? I have no clue, but I'm like, it's just butterflies. It's like happiness and the unexpected. Like, you don't really know. And I'm the type of person who likes to be kind of in control of everything. And with this pregnancy, I have literally been shown that I have no control. It just is what it is. I literally have a little baby inside of me calling the shots, telling me what they want to eat, what they want to do. If I don't feel good, you don't feel good. Like, this is just what it is. For women who are going through pregnancy or pregnant or are mothers, my heart goes out to you guys. I literally have such a newfound respect for mothers and women in general. I'm a mom, so it's so different. But even more so, women who are dealing with the condition that I have and I'm overcoming, Hyperemesis Gravidarum. I just want to tell you to keep going and be strong, and you need people to uplift you. You need an amazing support system. Otherwise, you will feel like giving up. And there was times where I felt like giving up, but how do you give up in that situation? You're pregnant, you're becoming a mom, you have a child now. How do you give up? Giving up is not an option. Do not let the doctors just throw it off as morning sickness. This is not just morning sickness. This is something that is completely different. I don't even want to consider it morning sickness because you're throwing up the entire day. Anything that you eat or drink, you are literally vomiting. I lost 30 pounds in about 2.5 to 3 weeks, and that's when I felt that my OBGYN was not a good fit for me, because when I was expressing the symptoms that I was having and the things that I was going through, it felt like, because it was my first pregnancy, no one took me serious. Like I said, my fiance and I just kept going at it and going hard because we knew that there was something wrong and that what I was experiencing was not normal. Do not let anyone just throw it off as morning sickness. Get the proper help that you need. There's obviously steps that you're gonna have to go through in order to get the help that you need. And it sucks to say, but you have to prove that you are experiencing something more than just morning sickness. It's gonna take a few times going to the doctors, going to the ER, and hopefully if you have a good enough OBGYN, they are understanding that this could be a possibility for you, and take the proper steps. Like I said, I was on the IV multiple times in the ER, and on top of that, I had overnight stays at the hospital up to 2 weeks at a time, and I was getting medication around the clock, and then it resulted in me being admitted home with home health and being administered a Zofran pump. The process that I'm going through now is just taking oral medication because it's come to the point where I can actually do that now. I can actually eat and drink now and hold things down. I feel a million times better than what I did feel. Women in general, just take care of yourselves, be happy, be healthy, and enjoy the pregnancy the best that you can. And if you guys are interested in joining me on this journey to motherhood, parenthood, becoming a mommy, mothering up, all of that, then stay tuned for the process, the journey, and follow me along. Tips and advice are soon to come when I figure this whole thing out. But for now, I'm going with the flow. I'm doing my research. I'm doing everything I can to be a better version of myself and be the best mom that I can be. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you got something out of this video. And again, I'm just super excited to finally be a mom. And yeah, I can't wait to meet my little one. So just happiness and blessings to everybody.